MotorWeek is made possible by TireRack.com, State Farm, and WeatherTech.
Well, hello and welcome again to MotorWeek 92. We're glad to have you with us. There are many motor vehicles that have been described as legendary. So many, in fact, that the word has lost much of its meaning. While there have been many interesting machines introduced in the last 100 years, only a relative handful truly deserve this accolade. One of the few that does is the English Land Rover. This amazing 4x4 wagon, the first of its kind, is instantly recognized wherever it appears. In fact, it is the first motor vehicle ever seen by a quarter of the world's population. Add in performance levels that have rarely been equaled in 44 years, and you have a true original. While its look has hardly changed since 1948, the vehicle that all the world knows as a Land Rover has come a long way. The latest model available to U.S. buyers is the Defender 110. 110 denotes the length of its wheelbase, and 500 indicates how few of them there are available. Only half a thousand Defenders will be brought into the U.S. this year, each selling for $39,900. And new American truck safety standards make further importation look unlikely. So those lucky few Defender buyers will not only get a 9-passenger wagon with an aluminum body, permanent 4-wheel drive, and a 5,000-pound towing capacity, they'll get a piece of history too. They'll also get plenty of attention from fellow motorists. The all-white Defender with its unique exterior safari cage stands out wherever it goes. The 4,840-pound Land Rover is propelled by the same 3.9-liter aluminum alloy V8 engine that powers its cousin, the Range Rover. It makes 180 horsepower and 227 pound-feet of torque, a far cry from the 42 horsepower 4-cylinder that powered the original Land Rover. Power reaches all 4 wheels through a 5-speed manual transmission. It whines a little, and reverse is too easy to find when you don't want it, but overall it's surprisingly easy to manage. No automatic is available. On the way, power passes through a 2-speed transfer case with a manual locking differential that engages with the flick of a wrist. It sounds simply archaic compared to some modern 4x4s, but there's no denying the Land Rover's off-road prowess. The big Rover easily surmounted any obstacle that we threw at it. Plentiful engine torque, 8.5 inches of ground clearance, and a flexible coil spring suspension are the reasons why. And it was remarkably easy to drive and ride in under even the toughest conditions. And if the conditions get too tough for even a Land Rover to handle, a powerful American-made winch is available for an additional $1,900. We understand now why the Land Rover is the first vehicle choice of soldiers and adventurers the world over. Well-heeled American drivers who rarely, if ever, take a 4x4 into the mud will experience a different Land Rover, however. Out on the street, the Defender's off-road gearing and top-heavy feel leave no doubt that you are driving a big truck. Again, the coil spring ride is impressively civilized. However, all but the hardiest drivers will probably long for the comparatively nimble handling and automatic transmission of the more polished Range Rover. The same applies to the interior. The Defender is certainly roomy, but it lacks the opulence and comfort of its country club relative. An effort was made to spiff up the insides for Americans, including the addition of a full-width dash and air conditioning. Take a big step up and you settle in firm, supportive bucket seats. The manual controls are basic and the steering wheel does not adjust, but most of our test drivers were able to find a fairly comfortable driving position. Except for the tachometer, the analog gauges are large, but they are also spread out across the dash, having been gradually added to the design over many years. The cassette stereo is also out of place between the seats and hard to use, but it is there and sounds fine. Expectedly, the heat and ventilation controls are simple and easy to reach, and the big air vents were very useful. But features like a kill switch, which reduce battery drain when the engine is shut off, make it clear that this vehicle was built for rough environments. The rear seat is a bit short on legroom, but has enough headroom for a giraffe. The split bench seat folds for extra cargo space. The large cargo bay can hold an Explorer's size load of luggage, or you can flip down the 4 folding seats for extra passenger space. But be warned that these seats are lightweight and only comfortable enough for short safaris. If you need even more cargo space, the large roof rack will hold an additional 220 pounds of gear. So you may ask, is our Land Rover Defender 110 really worth a total of $41,800? It is if you value its unequaled off-road performance, unique styling, tremendous interior room, and the prestige and history that goes with the Land Rover name. It's not if you want a vehicle that's mindless to drive every day, and the utilitarian interior lacks the ergonomics that we expect for this kind of price. But then it's hard to really measure the Defender 110 by our usual standards. After all, it's not your usual 4x4. In fact, it has no peers. It is still the most unique member of its species. Measuring it against other four-wheel drive wagons would be like comparing a tortoise and a man. The man is a bit quicker and more technologically advanced, but the tortoise was here before us and will probably be here when we're gone. The same could be said for the Land Rover Defender.